It was funny at first. Y'all tripping now. Like,
I'm not tripping.
Yeah,
let's move on.
Chill, man.
I'm not tripping.
One more time for me. One more time.
It's no question that the NBA is by far head and shoulders the best professional sports league that's going currently right now.
Okay, thank you.
So, are we basing off of symbolism and COVID testing? Like, what is this basing off? Are we fan base? What is your basis?
They are continuing to further the narrative of the Black Lives Matter initiative.
Okay, so symbolism, got it.
And
got
they keep, but that's important. I mean, it's
Okay,
not
no.
the whole thing. It's not the whole thing, but it
That's
is
basing
still
off of,
important.
okay, if that's what you're basing your opinion off of, okay, then, all right. They're doing a great job with raising the black flag. Great, all right.
So again, I appreciate you saying that, Jay. You know, just who would you rather play for? As simple as me. Simple as that.
So is that what y'all basing off
a league that hears you and sees you and does as much as they possibly can for you to have a voice in the face? I'm playing for that league, and all my shit guaranteed. So stop it.
Okay, so now that's a different story. Guaranteed. Now we talking.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, okay, I'll give you that one.
All
but
right.
you know,
What?
I'm talking about just a sport to watch. And
Hold on. Let me pause you. Nash, you had something too. Can you tell him what you said before he locked on? What happened with the when they locked arms? Can you remind him of that?
Oh, when I just thought that it was interesting how when the Chiefs in the Thursday night game locked arms, that the fans booed them for locking arms.
Okay. All right.
No. Again,
Nothing else to say. It's nothing else to talk about.
No. Yes, it is, G. If we're basing off of racial, equality and basing off of race, yeah. Salute to the NBA. But we're talking about just being a fan of something. I mean, it ain't nothing like the NFL. That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying nothing. I was about something to watch.
You said a fan.
You know what I mean?
My statement was the best ran league in professional sports was the NBA. Period.
G, you're right.
Thank you, man. That's all I needed. What's up, Del?
I like them glasses too.
Appreciate you, brother. Love the cut, man. It's clean.
Man.
It's a couple days. Matter of fact, I ain't been on the cast with the ball yet. It's a couple days.
First.
Listen, I was asleep. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had my alarm set. My wife said, "Your alarm keep going off." Shit, I've been passed out. But hey, Dale, let's get it.
Wait, but G, was you talking about his cut or my cut?
Well, I said I talked about yours earlier, but I was talking about his now. I said, you only get a cut when you hosting the cast.
Word.
Yeah. That is kind of true.
Look good though.
Trying, man. Y'all ready? Peace and love. We are in here. It's yours truly, tuned in to the Pharaohs Club podcast, PCP boys. If you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe to the Pharaohs Club pod on Instagram and all your social media platforms. Like, subscribe, engage, comment, all that. We got plenty of stuff on the way. Appreciate y'all's support. So let's go around the table, check in, make sure everybody's here, everybody's with us. Let's go around the table. Let's start down south. Nasty Nash, you in here, man? You ready?
Yeah, man, I'm here. I'm ready. Good energy. Good to see you guys. Let's go.
Yep. Shoot up to the Midwest. Gonna start out with my brother Lo. You here? What's up? You ready?
Peace and love from the 513. Peace and love.
Peace and love, man. All right. Let's go. My man Feezy, what's good, man?
I'm here. I'm sitting here trying to figure out if I'm going to do my vote by the drive up drop box or if I'm going to do this absentee ballot. But I'm sitting here. I'm good. I'm chilling.
The check's in the mail, Fees.
Man, as long as you voting, dog, that's all that matters, man.
Check's in the mail.
Yep. And then my way, I got Mean the Dream. What's up, man?
What's up, world? How y'all doing out there, man? Let's get this energy right, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Word. All right, and then last but not least, the architect out west. What's up?
It's your boy Geno Brooks, and I'm in the building.
All right. Yeah, man. We are in here. Man, it's a blessing. Man, I just got to say that, man. It's a blessing. All of us can get together, man. Everything that's going on in the world, man. Ain't none of us sick. All of us in good health. We straight, man. And it's a blessing, man. Whenever we can link up and do what we doing, man. So just wanted to shout that out, man. It was on my heart. So, man, interesting week. Got some interesting topics. Wanted to talk about, first thing I want to just get right into it, man. Somebody who is, who's huge in the podcasting space, had a hell of a week. And I think that it's important that we have some dialogue around it. So, and if you don't know, I'm talking about Joe Budden. Those of you who aren't familiar with Joe Budden he's a former rapper, but now he's a podcast guru. I'm sure that's an understatement for G, but he's major out here in the podcast world. And just to give you a background, he started out his podcast independently. After a while, he ended up doing a deal with Spotify, and deal is up. Allegedly, he wanted more money. Allegedly, he wanted, what I'm hearing, about $250 million. That didn't go through. So Charlemagne commented on it. Charlemagne said that he don't know how to negotiate. And then from there, all hell broke loose. And basically, Joe Budden just went in, hey, you ain't in my lane. You can't talk to me. You corporate. I'm independent. We in two different lanes. It's not even the same. And all kinds of hell went on from that. So I guess the way we're going to kick it off, or I guess what I want to see is who was right and who was wrong. Oh, because secondly, Charlemagne ended up snapping back, talking to him. He ended up breaking the news about the deal, the joint venture that he's doing with iHeartMedia. He's producing 18 podcasts, The Black Effect, which I think is huge. And I mean, he pretty much, the timing of it was incredible. So first, what are y'all thoughts on this whole Joe Budden, Charlemagne mess? Who was right? Who was wrong? Who y'all think? Let me kick it off to G first off. I know this is.
Hey man, I gotta thank y'all for this little segment right here. I'll get into it real fast. Snow, you left one thing off of Joe Budden. Called him a genius a long time ago. I'm gonna stick to my guns with it. It's a reason for it.
You did.
I'll explain it. When you talk about reinvention of yourself, stepping away with what looks to be like the more lucrative career, and test untested waters to step out into a platform that you might get laughed at. You might get some lines back from, like Drizzy shot a line at him, told him, "Oh, Buttons watching some studying and talking on somebody's career." That ain't word for word, but that's what he was saying. I think Joe has been a leader in this space, and I just want to give thanks to him and give him his props. But in regards to who was right and who was wrong, what I will say is Charlemagne stepped off the boat first by talking on that man's business. That's what made Joe go in. I don't think that Joe was wrong for responding. I do think he was a little wrong for opening as much personal stuff in regards to the differences in their business.
Yeah.
However, it's two different fights here. And the fight that Joe is fighting for seems a little crazy. You know, when you're loud, unruly, you do things that's a little unorthodox, people usually call you crazy. And that's kind of a space that he's in right now.
That's a fact.
So what ends up happening is Button is fighting for data, information, and things of that sort. And that's why the negotiation on his behalf, in his words, didn't go with how Charlemagne said he should have went. Button was just going in there to get the numbers and the data. So he took a
When
short
you say data, what you mean exactly?
meaning like, okay, I'll talk to you about that. So RRS, that's basically like a rhythm of how long people stay on your streaming systems. Okay, so we have our own on our platform. So what he's saying is, and I'm sure some of y'all saw that, is if a song is worth A and it's 3 or 4 minutes long, meaning like radio, if you tune in and let's say Drizzy is on, they're counting how many times people turn the station off, how many times people stay from beginning to end. So how much is that worth for you as a network to stay on while this song is while this song is playing?
Okay.
So Joe Button says, all right, cool. If we know the worth of a song that's 5 minutes long, we give it 5 minutes. We know what's that worth to the record company because they give us this X amount of money per contract, per deal, per record sales. You know what I mean? Then why are we giving up the opportunity to know what a podcast is worth when I can keep, in his case, those podcasts are 2 hours long. Y'all asked me early, why are we doing these things so long? My thought was the same kind of thing that Joe was saying. If we can keep people engaged for half the time, we're keeping people on for an hour and a half, let's say an hour, because sometimes we do 2 hours. If our numbers show, then we should be able to go out and get whatever type of, if your game is sponsorships, which Joe's not. We can go out to any sponsor and say, hey, look, we keep our audiences on for an hour at least. We can run your ad at 30 minutes. That means that guarantee going to be there to be around. That's how you can kind of gauge what your worth is. So if you don't know exactly what your worth is for a podcast and how long you can keep somebody on, and there's a price point for a song, that's what Joe went in there to go get, to find out how long people are on there, what they're offering versus what he already knows of what a song is worth. Now, Charlemagne's, go ahead.
He was trying to get the data from Spotify and they weren't giving it to him?
So stuff like this. So that's just one aspect. I'll give you a couple more. So if you go to a streaming service and they say, all right, you get a free subscription or you get a premium subscription for $7.99. You have access to some songs, but you might not have access to all. You might not be able to skip. You might not be able to get past those advertisers and things of that sort, right? But he's trying to go in there and figure out how much are those things worth. Those are the kind of, because his negotiation was, when I sign this deal with you, I'll take the short end, but you have to share that information with me.
Right.
Right before it's time to negotiate, and people can't change in the guard in the building, they stopped doing that.
Right. Okay.
But what they tried to do, because he's valuable and he's the number one podcaster in the game outside of Joe Rogan, right, is go in there and say, all right, we'll sign you, we'll give you $40 million, which is a lot, like he said, more money than he had ever seen. But what they tried to do is they tried to buy his rights to Rory, Maul, his pull-up shit that he do. They basically tried to 360 him. The same shit that he been running from his entire life from rap career. So he can't get got with the same shit that got him. He can't get caught and hit with the same whip that they caught him before. Is basically what he's saying. Right? So he's saying, if I can go do this, what's this value in that? And I'm holding these people in there, then my demand is something different because I want to either set something up for myself or have the proper rights to splits on what I'm getting and what I'm earning you. Last thing on button. If I'm earning you $1 billion, am I going to be extremely happy with $50 million? No, not when I own the shit. He owned his platform.
Because in turn, it was going to own him. So
exactly.
So to
try to own him. Yeah.
Try to own him. Yeah. So to just to give a little bit more context to the listeners who don't understand what's going on, you know, when Charlamagne criticized his lack of negotiation because of leaving that deal, he basically shitted on Charlamagne, saying like, dude, you corporate, they own you. You've been there for over 10 years. You don't have any ownership. I own all of mine. And I mean, screamed on him pretty much for like 30 minutes.
Well, let me get my Charlamagne off. Now, the difference in Charlamagne's deal situation, right? And this is why the Dame thing don't really apply to me, right? I'm all about ownership. I'm going to explain. And this is why I say we needed to do this on Cal. I didn't want to text this back and forth. All right, so the Charlamagne situation. So Charlamagne has a different setup. He's saying, okay, instead of, I'm not fighting to set up and give information to anybody else. I'm working with the people and put sweat equity into the people that believe in what I'm trying to do. They front all the shit. I get the ownership because I'm split or I'm doing a partnership deal.
Joint venture.
That's different. Yep. Which is still beautiful, but it's different. That's why I said they're fighting two different fights.
Yeah, they are.
Now, with Charlamagne shit, you know, he's a radio host. They got podcasts. They got TV things and things of that sort. So it's a beautiful situation for him to do a little less as far as work, to go out and give opportunity to somebody else with a large platform such as iHeart to give opportunity other up-and-coming creatives. Now, the difference is, or this is where my thing differs when Dame Dash and people say, all right, well, Joe fighting this whole thing, he going to own this shit. Yeah, but that's his thing that's what he's passionate about. Let's just say I'm not passionate about like this. I do TV, right? I sell my show and somebody eats off my shit. Cool. That don't still mean I'm not a boss because I'm taking my salary. I'm taking the things that I own, my money out of that situation, and I might go buy property. You get what I'm saying? So when Dame come in there and say, you're a worker, but if you're working and you take that money and then become your own boss and flip your own shit and use that platform to uplift whatever else you got going on as a boss, you may be a worker, but you still owning you got shit that you more passionate about or that you can go out and create on your own. And that's kind of what I think with what's the name did. And that was just my take. You can do both from both angles. Is my point.
Well, but which one? So which one do you prefer? I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But which one? I guess that's my question for everybody. Like in I guess to your personality, to your own personal goals, which one is the appropriate one? Whose side did you take? I know whose side you taking. G. That's a no-brainer.
I like
for the record, G, whose side did you taking?
I mean, I'm rocking with Button, man. I think he's doing it for more people than himself. He's fighting a bigger fight, you know. But I don't knock Charlamagne for how he's getting about it. But if I'm choosing one, it's got to be Joe. He's doing it for all us, even us right here. It might not seem like it, but we're going to benefit from it.
And to be clear, I don't want to downplay what Charlamagne did. What Charlamagne did is very huge. I mean, I think this was a chess move because radio is ancient. I think radio is going to go away, and he single-handedly put himself in position to curate all of these different podcasts to be eating long term when radio's gone and podcasts replace radio. Like he's gonna be behind it, and this is like a network specifically for black people, a black audience, and these is all heavy hitters that he's bringing with him. I mean, he bringing drink champs, he bringing 85 South, he's bringing there's a bunch of people. He got like 18, but he is major, right? So, but yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands the magnitude of the deal and the situation that he's doing. But go ahead, man.
No, I mean, I'm probably gonna favor Joe Budden, and not to say Charlemagne ain't making a great move. Nas, don't laugh at me when I say this, but according to Dame's criteria, I mean, and look, this is Dame's criteria, it ain't mine. But I remember when he sat there and told them all of them, like, if you have to report to somebody, you're not a boss, right?
Yep.
So to Joe Budden's credit, he's not trying to report to anybody.
Right.
He's trying to be his boss, no matter what it takes. Now, from a methodology standpoint, is it smart? Probably not at this time, but I do. I like cats that take risks and that are rebellious to the extent that they feel like I've done enough in a certain arena, and I feel like I could do this on my own. So I respect that part about Joe Budden's fight. The Charlemagne thing, yeah, again, he got a sweet deal, but I'm just going to go back to Dame's criteria, and I'm not trying to start controversy, but I mean, he does have to report to somebody. He may be putting a whole bunch of people on. He going to get a nice check, but at the end of the day, he's not a boss, according to Dame's criteria. So not saying I don't like what Charlemagne is doing, but at the end of the day, he pretty much just made Dame's point from that interview. What was that, 6-7 years ago? You still reporting to somebody. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. I mean, Joe basically is basically betting on himself, and he's winning. And that's inspiring to a lot of people, you know, and it can be inspiring when the story unfolds in that manner. But again, I think I don't necessarily know if there's a right or wrong for either path, you know. It may not be meant for you to own your own, but you still can within the roles of the Charlemagne route, depending on how you do it. You can still put people on. You can still have your own ownership and other things. You just might, like you said, like a joint venture partnership where you still have some sort of control and can direct your future to a degree. But man, Joe, the way he is paving the way, you know, that's like trailblazer status type stuff right there. And that's different because long term, so many people can benefit from those trails that you blazed. And I mean, that in itself, I got to go with that. Because he truly understands what he brings to the table, his value, like no question, you know, and he's confident, and he might be a little brash with how his deliveries, but let me
ask you this real quick, G, or anybody who can answer this, because I don't really know the answer to this. But where does that leave Joe turning down this deal from Spotify? Like, now, where does that leave him? What is his options as far as where he goes next? You know, like that's just my question for that.
In my opinion, Joe has something larger, pause, on horizon. He said before that, I said pause. He has something. He's been in Silicon Valley talking to the nerds. When you go to Silicon Valley, you going to get some shit built. So, yeah, he got, you know, again, beautiful move by Charlemagne. He partnering and using somebody else's situation. I feel like Joe is going to create his own. He always been saying he wanted to be a media mogul. So he's going out there to Silicon Valley to create his own platform. So therefore he can give people their looks.
His own Spotify.
That's what he's about to go.
So basically,
that's why he go in there to get the numbers.
So I was going to say, so basically he's building his own foundation. He's building his own infrastructure for those technology geeks out there. You know, some people
that's what is suspected.
Some people can go purchase. Yeah. Some people can go out there and purchase it off the shelf, and they don't own 100% of it.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, I'm gonna be the own architect in my own platform. I'm gonna build it from the ground up. Versus Charlemagne using somebody else's platform and architecture and just making money off of it. I get it. So yeah,
Well,
that's what you're saying.
First and foremost, let's say what this is now. I mean, it's a gamble. Like we saying, like we giving Joe his roses before anything is done. I mean, he's betting on himself, you know, to launch something in the future. Nothing is paved in stone. So we're not going to put all our eggs in one basket and say, you know what I'm saying, salute Joe, great job, you know, you did it. Because no, it's not done. Let's say that. I mean, let's be honest.
So it ain't no champion. So it ain't no champion. It even if it fails.
Well, G,
because what we champion?
I'm just jumping in.
Okay,
I'm just jumping in. Salute to Brother Bird. I mean, it's a Brother Bird. Brother Biden. Brother Biden. No, Brother Burden.
God damn.
Oh shit!
Salute to Brother Biden.
Reminiscent of the other cast.
Hey.
I heard Brother Burden. I heard Joe Biden. I heard a bunch of shit.
I was messing. Hey, I was messing with y'all. But salute to Joe for, you know, stepping up, you know, and being a soldier, you know, for you know, stepping on his own platform for the culture, as we say, you know. But unfortunately, I mean, I can't. I mean, great job, but he ain't accomplished nothing yet. I mean, he had a deal in front of him, you know, and he went the other way. Great. So until he inks a deal, you know what I mean, he's still in the win. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic and everything else going on right now. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? So, I mean, all I can say is, you know, Charlemagne inked the deal and got his bread now. You know what I mean?
What do y'all think about? What do y'all think about the distractions that's been going
on?
on?
No. Hold that thought, Nas. Hold that thought, Nas.
I was coming. So
pause that too.
Yeah.
Super pause.
Yeah,
quadruple pause. Lord have mercy.
Great job, Joe. I mean, you know, for stepping up and, you know, on your own back. I mean, I love it, what you're doing, but I mean, I can't give you your roses now. I mean, for a bet, I got to see if you're going where the dice is going to fall. I mean, I done bet big a million times and crapped out. You know what I mean? I'm trying to just say, like, great job, Joe. You did it. Hell no, you ain't do nothing.
They got to be the soundbite for the beginning. I ain't giving you props for a bet.
Wish I should have figured out what's about to happen. But yeah, I mean, I hope that's what I was gonna say. But I mean, hey, we'll see. Charlemagne, great job getting a check. You know, securing your family and your kids' lives. I mean, great job. And Joe, great job for rolling dice. We'll see where they lay.
But it all comes down to
hold on there. Lo, you kind of framed that in a Dave Chappelle kind of way when, like, Dave Chappelle just left $50 million on the table, went to Africa and shit. Like, are you saying that's what's going on here?
Man, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I know Dave Chappelle definitely walked away from some shit, but he's still making it. I'm just saying. So, I don't know. I mean, Dave Chappelle's doing good. I don't know if he's doing 50 million good now. I mean, I'm still doing.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's
definitely doing good.
No, hold on. What I'm saying, I don't know what the number is. I don't know.
20.
But I mean, I'm saying
20. Just so you know, 20 for his last comedy special.
He got a couple $20 million.
Yeah, listen, great job. I'm just saying, listen, Joe's rolling dice. Y'all gave him his roses. Y'all was ready to put on Mount Rushmore. Y'all was ready to put him up there like great.
No, I'm just saying I'm giving kudos to innovation and thinking forward and leaving what's on the table that you ain't 100%. He ain't never doing it for the money. I know y'all don't watch Joe. I know y'all don't watch Joe enough for him to ever hear him say that. He ain't doing it for the money. He said he ain't never made no money when he was rapping. He been doing good enough to live.
I heard that.
I respect that, and I think what
I'm not knocking
comes down to, what it comes down to, man, it comes down to perspective, right? I'm all about strategizing and getting in position, and for all we know, that could exactly be the play for Charlemagne. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
What if he's
He
doing this?
benefited off that shit. Yeah.
What if he's doing this? Because I hear you. There is a vast difference between their approaches, right? Joe Budden can't be fired. Charlemagne, on the other hand, can be fired. However, he could be doing this play so that he could be in position once this deal is over to start his own platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what you know what I'm saying, what
is a partnership considered a boss move? Is it considered ownership?
It is. It is.
Absolutely.
So he ain't got a shit. He got a partnership with his shit, with his imprint with iHeart.
Absolutely.
It's a boss move for sure. It's a boss move. He doesn't have complete ownership, but it's a boss move, and it's a boss move to me because you empowering people. You putting people on. Like, all of the people that's coming on is all his folks.
It's just like having a
Well,
cash
hold on.
money or anything else.
Hold on. Listen, it's a move. It's a chessboard. This move's gonna take him to another level. Where if y'all consider this a boss move now, I bet after he's done with this move, it'll be all boss moves going forward. I mean, it's a move.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm going to be clear. That's kind of what I was saying, Lo. I mean, I look at both of them as different situations and both great. So I agree with you, because if his thing is to go do something else, then he's just setting up he's securing the bag.
Setting it up.
And on this situation, that might not be his major thing.
No doubt.
To support whatever else that he's truly passionate about. So yeah. Beautiful move.
Yeah, it's a boss
but
move.
I think the differences here is this is Joe's play. You know, and there's just different ones. But yeah, I agree, man. I think they're both doing a good job. There's two different ways to look at it.
So clarify me this. I mean, was they actually, because I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't pay attention to them two going at each other. But was they throwing shade at each other directly, or was that rumor?
Oh no, it was direct as fuck. It was directly more on Joe's end. Charlemagne was taking subtle shots.
No, man, that wasn't no subtle shot. You don't talk about no man business and tell him
he was trying to make it. He was trying to make it subtle. He wasn't trying not to say Joe's name, but it was it wasn't as blatant.
The question was, this was the question, man. What's going on? Like, what do you think about Joe's situation? Joe's was like, I mean, that man. You negotiate what you negotiate on. You know, you get what you ask for, and he ain't doing good business. You can't do that.
No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about after the rant that Joe had. Charlemagne, he was trying to.
You can't. No, that's what kicked off the rant.
Yeah. Okay. But so yeah, I mean, and he was. They're trying to say. They're trying to say that he was asking for too much money, because allegedly he was asking for $250, and I just don't feel like.
See, that's how they get you. That's how they get you.
Yeah, you know, you don't.
When you listen to today, but you're not listening enough to the person that's saying it.
No. Hold on, I'm not saying that. I didn't say that.
They asked about the $250.
I said that they allegedly said that he was asking for $250 million. And
what's too much? See, that's what I'm saying. Stop right there. What's too much? If these numbers, listen to me. If them numbers get you, and I get you to bring in, I'm successful in my lane, and I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of y'all to come follow me in the podcast lane and give up them same rights, then it's way more worth than $250 million. That's what he's trying to tell you.
Geno,
right?
That's cool. I don't have no problem.
No, you just I'm saying no, but this is what I be trying to tell y'all about media, and then y'all look at me like I'm crazy. The thing what you just said was he asking for too much. Who the fuck are you to tell him that he's asking for too much? And I'm not saying you, and I'm saying them.
Yeah, and I get it, and that's what I was. That was the point that I'm making is, you know what I'm saying, nobody is. Joe don't know Charlemagne's business. Charlemagne don't know Joe's business, and it was just a bunch of clashing of egos, and I thought that it was unfair.
Hey, Nas, hey, you know, Dames did say that shit to Charlemagne too. Like, why you counting another man's pockets?
Yeah.
Man.
Man, I think the thing that makes it so interesting is the uncharted territory that Joe is in. Like,
Word.
I agree with in the sense of his genius that he stepped away from something that could, he stepped away from the limelight and went into something that people probably thought he was crazy doing. He been doing it. People been calling him crazy, but he is pioneering a trail that nobody knows what to do with his numbers that he's doing. And they're trying to decipher what his value is, but he telling them, look, you can't do me like G said, you can't do me like the record industry.
There you
This
go.
is a
Let me ask
completely
y'all
different game.
one last question. Let's just say, go to Lowe's thing. Let's just say Button goes and he's doing what I think he's doing, right? I'm only saying that because I think I'm a visionary and I can see a lot of shit coming. Or I listen to certain things and this is what's going to be played. Let's just say Button goes and creates his own Spotify, right? Let's just say it. The relationships with the advertisers that comes in, right? Because they was going to give him $1.8 million for every 8 episodes for them to drop a advertisement in his episodes. Now, in the year they filmed, I think the number was 116 podcasts. That's a lot of money outside, and that's just advertising money. So let's just say he got 50. He goes sets up his own shit. He gets the advertising dollars to come in. I'm giving Pharaohs Club a motherfucking 1.8. I'm giving what's the name of 1.8. I'm giving what's the name 1.8. Hold on, giving them what's the 0.8 at that height. If I'm cutting you 1.8, just like he asked y'all, if I'm making them $1 billion, why am I okay with $100 million? So if I'm giving you 1.8, how much you think Joe about to see in his own infrastructure? That's his own shit. That's the play. That's just advertising. We ain't talking about the time that you stay onto somebody's platform and how much that's worth. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about
could Joe be a BBB though? Could Joe, the way that he operates, could he be the one that's blazed the trail for this something new thing, but he don't do the business the right way in the sense that's gonna get him where he need to go, but the next person that come along might
be smarter.
Y'all gave him
And I'm
roses,
gonna be honest
He got
too.
a white boy
man.
with him. That's his business partner.
Y'all gave him roses already. He already succeeded, right?
Hey, G, if he signed us,
2 different things. Huh?
Hey, if he signed us, he the GOAT.
I'm gonna be honest too, man.
And listen, and to be honest with y'all, I'm not in Joe's fight. That's what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm trying to do is secure the bag to get us some bread, right? Now, when it come to that situation, I'm gonna come to y'all and say, what y'all want to do? We got these 2 things on the table. What's the best situation for us? We gonna make a vote and we gonna rock with it. Even if I wanted to fight Joe's fight and y'all 5 be like, nah, let's get this bag because I got kids. I want to do this. I do this as a hobby. Then I'm getting that bag. See, that's what I'm saying. 2 people did 2 different fights. But yes, I'm trying to get us a motherfucking deal. I'm working on the package right now to present our shit. But anyway, go ahead. We just gotta stay consistent and keep doing what we're doing. That's all we gotta do.
But look, the one criticism that I can give about Joe, man, is that he like blasted the powers that be, and I felt like that was to his detriment. You know what I'm saying? And that I don't think it's no coincidence that, you know what I'm saying, the floodgates opened up and all this shit started coming out of nowhere. That was a coincidence. That was by design. So to Lowe's point, you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, it's kind of early to say that it's gonna be a success, especially when you talking down on those that are that powerful, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you the pioneer something, you don't always reap the benefits of actually getting what the goal is. It's the other. You got to take all of the brunt, and then the next person gonna reap.
Look, especially when they got access to your secrets.
Boy, well, no. Not when they have access to it. When he put it out there himself.
Right, that too. But
they didn't even have to dig for it.
Right. Like, you talking about playing with your dog's balls, bro. Sorry, man. No. Pepsi don't want to be. They don't want to be associated with you touching your dog's balls.
That might be a snippet. Playing with your dog's balls.
gosh. But,
Those
Wow.
pause.
yeah, and then they digging up all of the domestic stuff, man.
Yeah, man, it wasn't no coincidence that shit happened, bro. I agree. Now, listen, I ain't on that boat with him. You know,
Word.
first thing I did was when Dale said that shit, and it came out. What I do, Dale? I told you was right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't respect that approach. That's why I run in with Dame. It's the same shit. Like, you know, I love Dame's concepts. I love his theories and all that shit. I love putting your own bread, you know what I'm saying, to do your thing. But I don't believe in burning relationships and burning bridges.
Y'all niggas be in here hating on Dame, though.
Huh?
Nah, look,
You
I'm
and
gonna tell
y'all
you,
be
man.
hating on Dame.
Hey,
That ain't me.
Dame is the
Dale.
mentor,
No,
man.
nobody be hating on
Dale.
Dame.
Y'all
Dame.
quit playing. Y'all be hating on Dame.
I don't hate on Dame. I hate on Dame's
His
approach.
antics, man.
I hate on his
hold
approach.
on. Dame, look, Dame is a two-sided coin, man. Like,
Exactly.
you take it for what it is. Because I mean, y'all not the only group of cats that we argue about Dame. Like, it be tooth and nail. I be like Dame's methodology and what he talks about is actually on point.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Look,
And
his
he was a
execution-
pioneer. Like, let's not like
Yeah, he was a
Rockefeller
trailblazer. That's what I'm
Rockefeller
saying.
Rockefeller was
look,
a pioneer,
but-
you know, record label
Right.
industry, and he went in and fought for people's rights. He was one of the few people in them boardrooms calling them white people out.
Right,
Like,
right.
you a goddamn lie, you a culture vulture, you doing blah, blah, blah. I agree with all of that. But at some point, you become a pariah when you just start always backing people in the corners. People start coming out fighting, yo.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes Dan could just be a fucking asshole, man.
That's
He's
what
an
I'm saying.
asshole. He is an asshole, man. But I mean, the game and what he spit is right on point. I mean, can't hate on that.
Yeah, Logo got kicked off. But all right. But yeah, man. So
You muted, Nas. Oh, no, he.
shout out to Joe Budden. Shout out to See the God, man. Both of them brothers is doing amazing things. And I mean, I think the moral of the story is no matter whenever you are trying to pioneer something, when you want to be the first at something, you gonna look crazy. I mean,
Most
that's
definitely.
just it. Everybody's gonna call you crazy.
Hey, man, chase your dreams, right?
That's it. I mean, shit, I'm a proponent of that shit, man. They tell you can't do it, go
I
do it
definitely
anyway.
rather be Joe Budden. I mean, I'm gonna put my check in there. I would rather be the one, you know, pushing the narrative and trying something new and thinking outside the box and trying to figure it out. Not to knock what Charlamagne did, but all right.
Well, one caveat, what you just said, Nas. I would rather be Joe Budden with some form of a bag saved up. Then I can just say that. If I ain't got no dough,
Hold on.
I'd rather again. I'd rather be Joe Budden at the finish line. He's running a race right now.
Yeah, but you can't choose him at the finish line. When you the trailblazer, that's part of the process, man.
Yes, you can.
That's true.
Yes, you can.
That's part of the process.
Listen again.
When you the first one, when you the Diddy's, when you the Barry Gordy's, you look like you insane when you doing what you doing. People don't believe in you. You got to buy into yourself. People ain't giving you bread.
That's like saying I wanted to be Bezos when Amazon got hot. Like, nah, you want to be Bezos.
You want to be when you mortgaged your house 4 times.
That's right.
Again, great job, Joseph. Great job. Hey, salute, my brother. But listen, yeah, I'll give you the rest of your roses at the finish line. That's all I got to say.
All right, man. Real quick, and shout out to Tyler Perry, man, because the news broke earlier this week that he's a black billionaire. So that's shout out to him, man. Chasing your dream, looking crazy when.
And man, shout out to our fans, man. I appreciate y'all viewing, man. We some crazy dudes, man. You know.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. So, all right, man. Speaking of freedom, I want to move along. I want to transition to something. It's political. I want to move along to y'all's president coming out. Audio came out where he directly said that he downplayed the virus. Knew that it was and we're on record. I think you can go back a couple of episodes where we said that we're pretty sure that there's intel where he knew, and this and that. And I think it just hit a little different when you actually hear the words coming out of his mouth that he knew it and he downplayed it intentionally. So, but to play devil's advocate, when you step back and you think about it, leaders tend to downplay or just kind of keep in the shadows things that are going on to protect the country. You know what I'm saying? Like if Obama was bombing or was getting ready to assassinate bin Laden or whoever, he couldn't let you know that was on the horizon. You know what I'm saying? Like he had to keep it on tuck. So I just wanted to get y'all's thoughts on that, man. Is that relative? Is this major? Is this going to impact the election? What y'all think?
Due to his past behavior, this is not a surprise. I mean, I don't think it's going to impact the election. I mean, just hearing him say it on tapes is just like, wow, okay, we already knew that. It's just, how was he dumb enough to get somebody to tape him saying it? But
he agreed to taping it.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, it's like, wow. I mean, it's not even a wow no more. It's just like, wow, a dead wow. But I'll say this, man, it do hurt just to know that, man, people have died, man, and this cat, he just don't care at all. But he ain't the only one. I'm not coming to his defense on no level. But I mean, if you was sitting on a tape like that, because I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know of Bob Woodward. I know he's a journalist. He's been in the game for a long time. But if you had 18 recordings and certain recordings was, I mean, directed in saving people's lives or to kill people, literally. I mean, because basically this shit was taped in February, March, several. I mean, the last 4 months. How can you as a person, I don't care what your profession is, sit on that and not tell nobody?
It's called being an accessory. If you're gonna go by the rule of the law, be an accessory to murder of how many people, thousands of people who have been, who died because this cat was being reckless. Yeah. This is the difference between you having. I understand when you're the president, you get knowledge that you can't share to the public, because that one ripple creates so much. You know what I mean? You got to hold it to yourself. I get that. Yep. But this, you never heard no audio of Obama saying no reckless shit, and he been out of office for how long? Right? I mean, whether he did good, bad, or indifferent, you ain't never heard no audio of him saying, man, I'm going to bomb these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? You ain't never heard none of that, but we done heard this dude talk about grabbing people by the pussy. We done had this dude talk about, you know what I mean? Like killing, like knowing that this thing is going to destroy our country and say nothing, and then get on TV and be like, oh, it'll go away in a couple weeks. Don't worry about it. By the spring, it ain't going to be nothing. Like he just really... You're the most dangerous person to our national, like you're the national threat here, bro. Like that is hands down, you're the national threat. And you can't, like, you want to impeach somebody over something. What are we doing? Like, it is mind-boggling to me, man.
And you talk about complicit. I mean, again, the playbook was set in the Senate. They had a chance to get rid of them. I mean, the poorhouse. I mean, I
don't know how you gonna get people to even want to vote when you can see these shenanigans going on and ain't nobody saying nothing.
Right. Like, I mean, they put on a good show with the kente cloth and kneeling and shit. Some of them in the Intel joints, because some of them motherfuckers in Congress sit in Intel meetings, House and Senate. So they had to get the same fucking shit he got. So how the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that's what I was about to go. To me, man. I mean, look, -45. Of course, he's taking the blame for all this, but it's more people that knew back in fucking January and February that this shit was fucked up.
Go ahead, Lo.
Did anybody cut on the TV today? So
I
I
tried not to.
Hold on. Them tapes came out about what, Tuesday, Wednesday-ish? Would y'all say?
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't really hear about it too much today. I mean, that's just me. So,
Because
listen,
he popping every day, dog.
Football's on, low.
right. That's what I'm
Football's
saying. So it's just amazing how the media once again controls our lives. You know what I mean? Depending on what you're watching or what channel you put it on, you know, it may be a great for news the other day, maybe great for news on Thursday, but you know, today, you know, football's back. I mean, we back talking about
our very own Truman Show.
Lo,
yeah.
it's interesting that you say that, because you're right. It's not only just the news. It's the type of news that you listen to. Because if you are conservative and you're watching Fox News, they downplay the fuck out of it.
I mean, the thing is, y'all say it all the time. Y'all say it all the time on the chat. Like, man, don't just get caught by the headlines. Think about how many Americans, that's all they do is read their timeline on Facebook headline or their Twitter headline, you know what I'm saying, their Instagram. They just see something and then they go with it and then they add their own opinion and they ain't read nothing. So that's
that documentary I was telling y'all about, the
I gotta
social
check
media.
that out too,
I feel like Trump, you know, I'm gonna keep the gambling theme that my brother Lowe set us up with. You know, Trump is now walking around a casino with money. You know what I mean? So it don't matter.
Talk to me.
I got house money, so I can do whatever. So you know what? Yep, I knew about it. I mean, my bad. What you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Because guess what?
Right.
I just did 4 years as the president, so I might be done. So all right, if not, I might win though. I might win. So you know what? I got plenty of money. Ivanka, go ahead. I got the car around front. I'm posted up. I got comps. I'm posted up in the casino tonight. Let's blow this bread.
Right.
I ain't got much time left.
But you know what's funny? Like, I was listening to the little rat dude, Michael Cohen. And remember, we talked about how this cat really didn't even want to be president. Michael Cohen confirmed it. He's like, man, this dude did not want to be president. This was a PR stunt so he could get a hotel overseas. And when he won, he was like, fuck.
He's protected by that office. That's why he can do some of the antics and get away with it. He's protected. You know,
and you can't, and he didn't even realize how protected he was until he was like, "Oh shit, I can do this. I can say this. I can do this, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing." And that's why this dude is talking about running for a third time. Like, he don't even if he lose, he like, I'm not even gonna lose. I'm not losing.
Hey, good brothers. Let's take it back to day one in the office when y'all boy did not show up for Intel meetings talking about I'm a smart guy. I don't even hear intel from these people. I'll be surprised by is this really news? Buddy said, I'm a smart guy. I don't even talk about this. Like, what are we surprised at? Is this really news what we're hearing?
No.
Like, come on.
He's like, I don't need to be briefed. I'm intelligent.
He told Obama that shit. He said, man, I thanks for telling me, but I already knew that.
I'm good.
He was like, Obama, you went to that meeting? I ain't go to that meeting.
I just think that it's a shame, man. This damn near a crime when you go back at the timeline and you hear him say like, oh, you know, it's not real, you know, it's going away, send the kids to school, open the economy up, send people to work, and you directly knew what was going on. You knew that the shit was deadly. You knew that the shit was gonna come in and take people out, man. So I just, you know, when you think about it to that level, man, it's just like, God damn, like what the hell did we get ourselves into? Like, it's all bad. Yeah.
Okay, enough of that. I don't want to. I want to keep my spirits up.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You know, Go out and vote, people. It's coming up in a couple months. Whether you're
Y'all
gonna mail
gonna
it
keep
in.
hearing us saying it. We got months for this bullshit before this bullshit ends.
I mean, does the
keep
slogan
talking about
vote? Look, does the slogan "vote or die" actually mean vote or die? Literally, like,
no, because that slogan been going around forever.
Nah, it mean it now.
pandemic. Either you vote or you pretty much may die. You know what I'm saying? Like, vote. Shit.
All right. Let's get in a hypothetical rich nigga bag, man. Wanted to lighten up the situation. Gosh. Energy is just bad now, man. Fuck. Man. All right, man. Hypothetical rich nigga situation. Billionaire, you divorce, your spouse wants $2 million a month. In case nobody knows what I'm talking about the Dr. Dre divorce with his wife. I'm trying to understand this and I don't understand it. So I'm hoping that somebody on here can try to make it make sense, or y'all just as confused about it as me. So if y'all don't know, some of the things that she was asking for in her divorce was $10,000 laundry bill, $135,000 a month in clothes, $60,000 a month in education, email and cell phone, $20,000, mortgage, $100,000, entertainment, $900,000, all kind of rich nigga shit. None of this shit makes sense. And even if you put yourself in rich people's shoes, I don't see how this can make sense. At least that is to me. So if any of y'all can make it make sense, make it make sense. Now, that's what you think.
Oh boy, this is sticky. I mean, Dre a billionaire, right? Like, I don't really know how to how to quantify, when a person gets divorced, even, barring the prenup and all of that, they've been married long enough that she gonna get something.
Of course.
And you know what I mean?
Just
like,
to be clear,
they've been married for over 20 years or something.
Just
right?
to be clear, this isn't a matter of whether or not she deserves it. She absolutely deserves a bag. But that list that I just read to you, that shit is ridiculous. That shit sounds like it's made up.
That shit was borderline petty, man. That shit petty. But go ahead,
it's super petty. Because this the thing too. Like, I'm sorry, but isn't the whole point of getting a divorce meaning that we not living the same life no more? Like, how do you anticipate we gonna live the same life equally when we divorce? That ain't how that works. We divorce, so that means you got to figure out how you gonna start living your life now, and I got to figure out how I'm gonna start living my life now. And your trajectory is just a little lower than mine. Your trajectory down here, mine up here.
So wait a minute. Lo brought up a good point earlier, right? The cash out concept. So right, you come to a point in your marriage, y'all can't agree. Y'all say, okay, we're going to separate. That's the first stage, right? The second stage would be you get a form of divorce. Then you split assets, right? So for me, I think she's gambling. She's rolling the dice, right? Because she assumes that Dre is going to be a billionaire for the rest of his life. And she, instead of just saying, give me my bag up front, I'm going to be petty and be a thorn in your side for the rest of your fucking life. So every month you can see all these itemized lists of shit. So I can say, hey, even though you don't fucking love me and you don't fuck with me no more, this is how I'm going to be in your fucking life for the rest of your life. Now, I'll just indirectly compare it to Jordan and how he's separated with his wife, Tiger Woods, Mel Gibson, and all these other high profile billionaires and gazillionaires, right? Most of them ladies, they took their bag after tax, because when they get a divorce decree, if they got any assets, a lot of that shit is not even taxed. So they get a big ass lump sum in a separate account and they good. So I'm just wondering why she just wants to be so petty and not just move the fuck on financially from him. Like, just fuck it. Like,
it's interesting. It's interesting that you say that too, man, because if you pay attention to people who've gotten divorced in the past, like and from what I've researched, like if you got some shit brewing, Like typically the divorces, they try to get that shit over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me knock that out the way because she don't need to be entitled to half of what's coming soon. If you paid attention to Bezos when he got divorced, he got his divorce over with, and then he did like some super acquisition and was worth $100 billion more or whatever the fuck. So to Ming's point, yeah, you know, she really is just trying to be a thorn in his side for real. Cause I mean,
No,
cause she dragging this shit out.
okay, so
Forever.
Listen. I don't know if y'all ever.
Cause maybe he ain't gonna be a
caught up-
billionaire forever.
Have you ever been caught up in anything, any legal sue someone or someone sued you, whether that's a company, a business, or whatnot? For one,
No.
okay, right. So for one, you shoot for the moon, right? And if you get to the stars, you're golden.
Right.
So all she's doing is
Negotiating.
all she's doing is saying, hey, give me $1 trillion, but if I get $500 million, I'm golden. So I mean, all those numbers are just fudge. That's not what I mean. Come on, that's not what she really wants. I mean, it's called a settlement. She's gonna settle for something. She's not getting that, and she knows it. Her lawyer knows it. Her defense team, whatever you want to call it, knows it. She's gonna get. I mean, she's gonna get a great number, but she ain't getting that. So I mean,
hope not.
all the numbers are fudge. That's why I was, from the beginning I'm saying, why is this even news? I mean, of course she's just fudging the numbers just to get something. I mean, it's like it's not even. I mean, to me, it's not a big deal. I mean, because if I get injured, if I'm driving my car, I get injured, I hurt my leg or something like that, I'm gonna sue for a gazillion dollars. And you know what? I might walk away with 100,000, and I'm happy. I mean, that's just what it is. It's the same situation. So why is this? I mean, why is it such a big deal?
It's the petty factor, though, Lo. It's petty as shit.
So you're saying she reaching high so she can get some substantial something low or
Absolutely
decent? Yeah. So
Absolutely.
she probably walk away with like like 300,000 or something per month, and she'll be happy with that.
That's what she
Man,
wants
just
for
think
real.
if she gets 50% of every single one of them itemized numbers,
She's lit.
she good. Even if she get half.
I mean, right? You talking about half? You talking about $1.5 million a month? $1.2 million a month?
She's lit.
I mean, the thing is, man, listen. when you factor in child and spousal support, they consider lifestyle.
The kids is grown though.
I mean,
Make note that the kids is grown, so it's just spousal.
okay. Even still, they consider your lifestyle. I mean, that's what you were accustomed to. So with that mindset, to Lowe's point, yeah, why not shoot for this? You know what I mean? He got that now. I ain't worried about what he's gonna have in 10 years. I'm gonna lock my bag in right now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think this is news at all. Like,
but I mean,
at all. She ain't definitely been the first, won't be the last. I mean,
the itemized list though, it don't
Itemized
look
list
like
is what
trying
made
to
it
lock
crazy.
it in now. It look like she's trying to spread it out over 30 years or some shit. Locking the bag in now is getting a lump sum.
But understand, she didn't sit down and make that list.
Negotiation.
I know that. I know
her
that.
defense
I get
team
that.
made that list. They said, okay, look, we're gonna say for dry cleaners, what was it, 150,000 or something like that for dry cleaner? Come on now.
$900,000 for entertainment.
How much?
$900,000 a month.
Just say $1 million. $1 million for
A million,
entertainment.
right? Like, come on, man. You think she sat? You think she went to the office and said,
$1 million for
I want $1 million
entertainment. though.
What type of entertainment she getting?
if the
for
mother
30
June-
days. For 30
Come
days.
on,
though.
man. Come on, y'all. Come on. This ain't this,
$165,000 a
man,
month for
come on,
clothes.
man.
Every month you
60.
buying $165,000
You
worth
stupid,
of
Lo.
clothes.
She definitely Petty Murphy though. She definitely Petty Murphy.
Yeah.
I agree. Especially like what Lo said though, especially with not having a prenup. I mean, she gotta.
That man, the system allows for
shoot her
that kind of
shot.
shit to happen, man. She just playing in the game, bro. That's the system. The system allows for all those things to happen.
But see, man,
Man, shit, hey, listen. I'm a stay-at-home dad, and I ain't had I haven't worked in 10 years being the stay-at-home dad. My son 9. I've been taking care of these kids since they came out the womb. If my wife left me right now, nigga, I'm gonna have to start talking about the way that I used to live in my life. Like I'm like, where my pool at? Like,
hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey, wait.
That's interesting.
Can we edit that?
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on. So that's interesting. So Nas, since you brought that up, if you got, and I don't even like putting that shit out in the universe, but if that happened,
It ain't happening.
It ain't happening. But hypothetically speaking, if that did happen, would you go back to your own personal standards of living prior to y'all being married, or you're saying that you want to maintain where you got your status now? I just want to be clear.
I'm being honest right now with not dealing with seeing a picture of my wife having sex with somebody else or something. You know what I mean? Like what would lead us to divorce? Something that would lead you to a real nasty divorce. We not in that spot. But if I had to think of that, I hope that I would be somewhere in the middle. I can't go back to the lifestyle that I lived before we got married. We've been together for 17 years. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the trajectory of where my career would be right now, 17 years later, I would have to negotiate that. I would be reasonable in that, I hope.
So
sense.
She set you down and was like, yo, you take care of the kids and I go to work and make this bread. That's how it happened.
Oh yeah, this was absolutely a business decision. This was us. I mean, because I was working. It wasn't like I didn't have a job. I worked. I had a career. I had been doing I was doing my due diligence, moving up in the sector that I was in. And when we got pregnant, it was what's the best thing for our family? So it was definitely a business decision.
Press a little harder. These were her words.
What?
They came up with this idea.
This was us talking, but listen. So for me, the conversation was more like, look, as long as you're comfortable and okay with the fact that I'm staying at home, and when your colleagues come up to you and be like, "What does your husband do?" and you comfortable enough being like, "My husband stay home and take care of my kids," and there ain't no snicker in that, I'm all right with that. You know what I'm saying? As long as in your mind is not taking,
I'm less than
emasculating me in any way,
I'm
all right with that. But if you can't look your colleagues in the eye and say that, then tell me that now. Because I had a career. It wasn't like I just had a job. I was working a career. I was doing what, I was moving up in I'm in social work. So I was doing what I needed to do. But at the end, when you start looking at the X's and O's, it's like, what is your, as my wife is a physician and I'm a social worker. Mm-hmm. What do I bring in as opposed to what she brings in? Clear. What would we pay somebody else to take care of our children, pick them up from school, do their homework with them, feed them, give them their morals and whatever. And I understand for some people, they got to do that. But we were able to say, look, we don't need no 2 boats. We don't need no 3 houses. This is what we gonna do. This is all right. So I'll stay home. I'll take care of the kids. You do your thing. And that's the way we built our little foundation. And
that's beautiful. Can I ask one more question? I'm gonna ask you one more question.
Absolutely.
And tell me if I'm going too far. But
nah.
So in a situation like that, do you get an allowance?
So this is okay. I'm glad you asked that. Yeah. And this is for anybody
and that's what I'm asking for anybody that's listening to this situation, you know what I'm saying?
Who's thinking about getting married or whatever. I went around and I talked to a lot of people that I knew that were married before I got married. And I asked them those hard questions. Do y'all have, because I heard a lot, some people have separate accounts. Some people have a joint account and pay all the bills through that. Some people get allowances. Some people, I've heard a gamut, and there's no one right answer. And I'm going to say that from the door. everybody got to figure out what their best situation is for their household. For our household, we always brought all of our money together and paid the bills, took care of the household, took care of each other. And this is, and when my wife was in medical school, I was the breadwinner, right? So like she wasn't making money. She was getting a stipend, but I was the one that was working and you know what I'm saying? It was only like 2 or 3 years that was going on, but I was the one that was bringing in the money and doing, the due diligence.
Held her down.
We so parallel, bro. You don't even know.
You know what I mean? And so then that immediately flips the moment that she becomes a physician. And now we have a conversation that has to happen. And it's like, do you stay home? Do you work? And I've never been a dude that like beat my chest and like, I gotta be out here making the bacon to feel like a man, blah, blah, blah. This was a situation like you could stay home and take care of your children, or you could pay somebody else to take care of your children.
I was gonna give you props on that too, man, because men and their ego, they feel like they can't stay home and they gotta be the provider and they gotta even make the most and everything. So salute to you, man, because and I don't even feel like you're making like an exception or anything like that. I think what you're doing is brilliant, and I think it works for y'all, and it's so shit. I mean that makes perfect sense to me.
I think your kids, when they get older, I know for me personally, when you have an aha moment, when you reach an age, call your parents back like, damn, thank you. Like, I ain't know why you was doing this, all this stuff. I ain't know. Like I think I was about 24, 25 when I had an aha moment. I had to call, you see my mom, my pops, like, damn, thank you for, making that sacrifice, doing this, doing that for me. Because I didn't know. I was just, young and dumb, full of cum, right? I mean, this is what we were growing up, adolescence.
That was some old
so
school shit.
your boys is going to like,
damn,
man, when they really understand like what you are doing, what we have done, like the humility, the humbleness behind what you're doing. My God, man! Like that's goat status to me. That's some goat shit, man.
So was that a hard conversation, Nas, or did like she brought it to the table, or you brought it to the table? Like how did that?
So we always have family meetings where we discuss. It's like a business, man. You gotta kind of, because the reality, once the newness of the marriage wears off, it becomes a regular relationship, right? And so you have to start looking at it as a partnership and a business, and you're trying to touch all of the area. You know how it is, and we all trying to touch every area of it. But it was one of those things. We sat down, we had a family meeting, just the two of us, and it was like, so, if and when we have children, what would this look like? What is this, how would you feel about staying home? And I would be like, how would you feel about me staying home? How would you feel about having a husband, and again, I'm a outgoing guy. I've been in social work again most of my life. And, I like to think of myself as a guy's guy. And I'm like, how, when you in the lunchroom with your doctor friends and your colleagues, how's that conversation going? Or when you introduce me to these people, how is that conversation going? Are you comfortable saying that my husband stays at home? And if you are comfortable with that, I'm comfortable with taking care of my children. Like that ain't just, that's nothing. Like,
so you were more so concerned with how she would be looked.
I wanted to make sure that because a lot of times women they think that they want that, but then when they see a guy not bringing home the bacon or not going out to get it, it becomes like this, you're not as attractive because you ain't out there hustling. You ain't out there getting it. You ain't, you know what I mean? And I wanted to make sure, like, look, like if you gotta be the one that's okay with this. Like, I'm gonna eat mine. Like, it's a cross to bear. The shit is hard as hell. It's like nothing I've ever done in my life. You know what I'm saying? It's the hardest job I've ever had to have. You know what I mean? Because I can't quit. These my baby. Like, these is my kids. I created these dudes. You know what I mean? And it's my responsibility to do my due diligence with them. But this is the hardest job in the world, bro. And so my thing was to her, I'll do my part. But as long as you'll be comfortable with seeing me in this role, seeing me at home, seeing me folding clothes or washing dishes or whatever it is that I'm doing, if you all right with it, then I'm all right with it.
All right, last question. Have any insecurities come around or been played or anything like that come into play? I mean, she is around dudes is making a whole bunch of money. So has that ever come across your mind?
I mean, it did. I think earlier in the relationship, I was a little younger. My thought process was a little different.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's a doc. I mean, I don't know, you know, not everybody knows a doctor's life, but the, you know, the on calls, the having to leave at, you know, whatever time at night, you could be out all night. You could have to stay at the hospital, you know, overnight. Who knows, you know, what's going on. And there's not a lot of room for question because I don't have there's no way for me to get into that world. Right. So I gotta trust. That's all I got is trust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when she on call, she'll come out 11 o'clock at night, be like, I got to I call. I mean, I got to trust that that's what the call is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck else am I gonna do? That's just what it is. I got my babies. I'm taking care of them. I know I'm doing my due diligence. If, you know, everybody got to live with themselves. That's
Right.
my thing.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to look at yourself in the mirror and know that this dude out the crib taking care of these babies while you out here wilding. Go ahead if you want to.
G, you said that.
Good, man. I'm glad that y'all, you know, some people would have skipped that step, man. That conversation. They may have went off their own feelings and been so adamant about making sure that their feelings were heard and acted upon that they may have skipped that step. And I think that's a testament to you and to her to be able to sit down and have those uncomfortable but necessary conversations, man. That's pretty dope. Sense that you did that because I mean, I'm sure that there's other people out there, but that's awesome. That to me, that's like Lo said, that's some GOAT shit because, you know, I see my kids, I have my kids a lot and I know how it is. But when you have like if Jen went out of town and I have them like a couple of days in a row, it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? And to do it every day consistently with the vigor and the compassion and the excitement that you have with it.
Ain't always vigor says though. It ain't always vigor.
I already know, but you do a good job of putting that out there like that though. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty dope. Gee, shout out to those questions, bro. Good shit, man.
No doubt. And I don't want to leave him out there on the ledge like that because, like I said, me and Nas, you know what I mean? I think we connect, and I see him and on some real live Big Brother shit because I didn't realize, you know, in a time that I missed from him being on the yard, you know what I mean? And then the years that kind of passed that we were, I don't want to say the same because I don't want to do that, but we have a lot of shit in the same. That's why I use the word parallel. You know, I was the one that was, you know, holding it down and supporting us while Kendall was going through her residency. You know, she's not a physician, but she is a doctor. You know what I mean? She's an orthodontist. And it's been spurts where I had to kind of stay home and be the guy, you know what I mean? And hold down the kids and things of that sort. Not fully for the times that she's been gone, but moments. It was a year at one point, you know what I mean? It was 3 months here, you know, and I couldn't take a gig because of that or whatever it was. Or I was like, yo, I'm going to sit down as long as you cool with that, right? And then there was those times like, yo, you know, you go to the moments, you go out, this motherfuckers is, you know, got bread, you know, because what comes with her position is they make money, right? And the guy sometimes it just be around you, be in that environment, you come familiarity or whatever you want to call it, you know. I'm not asking now, it's like, yo, did you ever have any insecurities in that? And that's crossed my mind before, just keep it in the book, you know. Like, but luckily, hopefully, I've been in good in that space. But yeah, that's the reason why I asked Jay, and I'm glad you said that because I don't want to leave Nas out there on his own because there's a lot of the same feelings that I felt or questions that I had or dealings or insecurities that I may have had in my process throughout the years.
G, how did those conversations go when you all had to introduce that idea of you staying home? How did that conversation go?
It's always been, that's why I asked a specific question, like who brought it up. You know what I mean? And like I said, this happened about 6 times, various times, each times. Throughout
when it first happened, when it first happened, it was her. I was too young to understand. I was in that, I'm a man, I do this, I got to do that, and I had just literally just got done taking care of us. You know what I mean? So to kind of, switch that on when we had our first kid, and something happened to one of her nieces, and her nieces basically, or her cousins, but she treats them like a niece, where the babysitter shook the baby at a young age. So now that baby is an adult and has lived like that since she's been 3 years old. So our thing is nobody's going to raise them kids. Yeah. So nobody's going to raise them kids but us or her mama. So when Bryson was born, our first, I had to sit my ass down because what I was making in social work was nowhere in comparison to what she would make in a day that I would make in a week or 2 weeks. So I just had to bite it, and when you're around people like my cousin and, he's a man's man and he's been working since day one, it ain't really cool to just be like, I'm sitting at the crib. It ain't, I mean, just for me on some ego shit. But then, I matured as the times go by because I've always been an entrepreneur. I've been my own boss in my own way. It's just a matter of when I had to pause shit and lean into that a little bit more than versus me collecting a check from somebody else. And she was the one who was just like, yo, go full speed at what you do. Because if you get it at the height that you plan on doing it, then you'll be able to sit my ass down. So that's kind of been the goal in the last 3 or 4 years. But yeah, it was her first. That was a long way to say it was her first. And then a couple other times it was me.
Hey man, shout out to the queens getting to that bread. Out of bullshit.
Hey.
Shout out to the queens getting to that check.
Hey, double.
Yo,
Double
that's
on
just
that.
facts, man. That's
Double
just
back on
facts.
that.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And like
Shout out
you
to the
said,
queen.
like my wife just been such a G about it the whole time. I mean, it's just been an incredible, experience. Just because, I'm sure there's been dips in, throughout the time as far as energy is concerned, but she's, always been like, man, my husband, holds it down. And when I come home, he don't dump the kids on me. I ain't, she in a whole different, space than most people that of her other colleagues and stuff.
That's dope.
So, yeah, man.
That's dope.
Love, man.
Hey, one thing I don't understand, man. Like I don't understand how cats, when they married, they get on this ego trip about they wife making more money than them and
What?
that shit, man. Like,
Hey, let me tell you something though. Hey, look, man. Let me
That's the
again
dumbest
to
shit ever,
anybody
man. I'm
who's
trying to tell
thinking
you
about
that.
getting married, the conversations that y'all having before y'all get engaged or whatever are the wrong conversations. The shit that you should be saying is all the shit that you afraid that might send that person away.
Preach.
Those are the conversations that you need to have with these people before you get for real serious. And those conversations are things like this. Like, what would it look like if you stay home, or if I did this, or if I didn't go to church, or if I didn't believe in this, or if I didn't believe in whooping or spanking, or y'all gotta, I'm a vegetarian, I ain't feeding my kid. Y'all ain't having them conversations before y'all get engaged? Like, what the hell? Let's go.
You get to tie the knot. You come home and she pulling out a motherfucking ham sandwich. You be like, huh? You ain't even had that conversation.
You Muslim? You like? I told you. I pray 5 times a day.
Right.
But
Why you bringing out the ham?
But Nas, I don't understand how niggas is our age, right? And I know cats that's still single, ain't got no kids, they ain't never been married, and they ain't worried about that petty shit about, man, you know, I mean, I just don't want to get into a situation that she make more than me and I'm not being a man. I'm like,
Shit.
like, no, are you dumb? Like, are you stupid? Like, come on, man.
Shit. Hey, me.
Them
Listen,
is simple niggas.
I'm
They
telling-
gonna stay by themselves.
Them is niggas that don't have no self-confidence, man.
Thank you.
Starting out with my wife, she was making damn near twice as much as me. And I ain't
saying mine was too.
Yeah, and Jania had a fucking MBA and all that shit, nigga. And I ain't give a
But
fuck.
man, listen, talking about who, like, where you, like, how we gonna like pay for bills? How are we gonna that type of stuff? Those conversations need to happen in an early dating situation. Like, if we got married, like, how would the money situation look? People don't even have them conversations. You ask me if I got an allowance and stuff like that. We pay everybody money going one bucket. We pay the bills.
Simple.
That's how we do it.
Man.
I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm saying it's the way we do it.
Hey, Nash, you said something earlier. It ain't about, look, whatever the right way is whatever your situation is.
Whatever your situation is.
Because, I mean, by trade, I mean, I got an accounting degree. I got a, you know, I'm frivolous with numbers. She is too. We both deal in that realm. So you can just imagine the conversations me and my wife have about money, nigga. Trust me. So it's like, nigga, whatever. Look, if the shit is late, nigga, it ain't gonna be late. That's my point. It's no excuse why the shit be late. Well, we overthinking the situation. So back to your point, Nas, whatever situation is best for you that keep your house motherfucking.
But you got to talk about it, though.
Man, oh no, you got to talk about it.
Got to talk about it. If you're going to have separate accounts, say you're going to have separate accounts before y'all get married.
Look, the ultimate goal is to make sure the shit is current, up to date, and y'all moving upward, not down.
Man, the ultimate goal is to make sure y'all happy and y'all
happy.
Listen, y'all figure this shit out. I mean, because listen, I don't have a problem being a cat man. That's what I'm telling you right now. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. The what?
To bring a cat man. You know what I mean? I just started, listen, real shit. About a year and a half ago, I finally surprised my wife. So I've been a cat man. Was been there 4 years. I mean,
that's the first
my
time
wife
I've heard
had
that shit. The cat
listen,
man?
listen. I had no problem with that either. You hear me? Listen. I'm the man of the house. You know what I mean? I was bringing home some bacon, but it wasn't. It was just patties. It wasn't the links and everything else. You know what I mean? But now, listen. Now, hey, Papa Bear got it now. Listen, Papa Bear got it now. But listen, I had no problem with that, man. And you know, like you said, I mean, them conversations. I had the same situation. Like, damn. Like, I had a great position, you know, what I was doing, but I had other things on the side. But y'all all right. Your colleague, you be wondering, like, damn, like, what's, like, yo, like, what, we go to this meeting or whatever, and they ask about such and such. You know what I mean? How you feel? But thank God, I mean, you know, you got to have, as a man, you got to have the confidence, too. Like, you know, shit, this is my house, my household. I'm holding it down. It doesn't matter. And, you know, you have to be married to the right woman who's never going to shrink that.
Right.
That's the thing about it. It understands that. So it really starts there. Who cares about what Dr. Tim, you know what I'm saying, Peckerwood around the corner thinks? Fuck him. he ain't moving nothing over here. You know what I mean?
It took me a while to learn that one, bro. I ain't even lie to you.
Yeah, I bet. It's difficult. It's difficult, but I mean, again, shout out to the queens, you know, doing what they're supposed to do.
Big shout out
to the bag, baby.
Because they don't.
Hey, I got one thing to add though. Like, before I got married, man, the biggest thing me and my wife beefed about is living with each other before we got married. So the money, like Nas, you talked about the conversations. Like, I mean, I'm not going to promote this, but I mean, I think it would be an option if you're going to marry the love of your life. I think you might want to live with her for a little bit just to see habits. Spending habits, cleaning habits. I mean, everything habits.
Hold on. I got a funny story behind that real quick, if you don't mind. So hold on. So our first house, you know what I'm saying? I bought a house it was a rehab. I cashed out on it. I got a great deal on it. I'm saying I cashed out on the home. Her father came to the house for the first time before we renovate anything. That man walked in the house and walked out and said, "You ain't gonna have my daughter living in the house like this." Her father said it and walked out and left. I'm like, whoa. I said, all right, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So I'm saying she got on my grind, you know what I mean? Rehab the house. It was our whole play, you know what I mean? So we're gonna rehab his home, use his money to get another home and other stuff. So about 6 months later, like I ain't talked to him for like 6 months. I mean, like even we were just boyfriend and girlfriend then. We were just together. We wasn't married or nothing. So man, got on the grind, fix it up. I'm saying, beautiful home after that. Beautiful home. Invite him back over. I mean, then a tear dropped his eye. I said, man, I didn't see it. I didn't know what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the vision. I mean, that was like, I mean, if I wasn't a man, I mean, imagine, you know, this the girl, this is my woman. Her daddy just looked at me like I wasn't shit. Actually, I mean, that's what it was.
Right.
But to see, I mean, her mom and her mother like just hugged me and say thank you. Oh, it was beautiful. You know what I mean? They just didn't see it, man. So you got to be. We talk about being in a relationship. You got to be secure with yourself. First.
Shout out to that girl dad too, man, for setting the standards for what he wanted for his daughter. Though might have been hard to hear, but he said what he wanted.
Might have
for
put
his
a little battery in your back too, for real.
No, was it no?
Well,
I knew the vision.
Low
I
had
knew
to
the play.
Low had to play. I believe that.
Yeah.
I just think, but for Pops, you got to give him. You know, you might not want to hear that shit, but you know,
OG, yeah, for sure. Shout out to the girl dad, but I mean, I would say, listen, when you're in a relationship, you got to be secure with yourself. You got to have your own shit going on. You know what I'm saying? When you want to take a woman's hand in marriage or really be serious with a woman, you have to have your own shit in order. You know what I mean? And be a man behind that. Like, that's just what it is.
Hey, that's a hell of a story, man.
Story.
You would have told me that shit 10 years ago. I would have been laughing like a motherfucker at your ass, dog.
Oh,
like,
Dale knew it.
Oh, I was cracking up, nigga. Shit.
Like, damn, you did what, nigga? You got a house right?
And he rightfully so, nigga. Let me go to my daughter's boyfriend crib. Like, got him in the motherfucking trap house, man. What the fuck is going on?
Hey, I was sneaking and staying with my wife. I mean, she was my girl at the time, but and Pops used to come around the corner and drink yak, and I didn't even know it. I used to walk to the car, the nigga be on the corner, nigga with his boy. I used to be like, oh shit, I didn't know you was here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the play was like, he was like, oh, you visiting from Baltimore this weekend? I'm like, yep, I'm visiting from Baltimore this weekend. You got it right, Pops. Damn right.
God bless, man. All right, fellas. Well, shit, man. We're gonna wrap it up. Hell of a conversation, man. Appreciate y'all brothers being transparent and shit, man. Y'all got some unique situations, and sometimes, man, our egos can be fucking cancerous, dog. And y'all two brothers have conquered that shit, and I'm proud of y'all. That's some gorilla ball shit that y'all had to do, and y'all doing it for y'all family. And to me, that's what defines what a real fucking man is. It ain't how much you make or how much more you make, nigga. It's the sacrifices and the shit that you're willing to do to take care of yours. And y'all brothers, y'all doing that, no question. So, yes, as always, good people. These are your boys, the PCP boys. Man, if you ain't heard about us, man, tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another friend. Come over here and get your fix. It's PCP boys. We out. Peace and love.
Peace.
Hey, Jay, y'all better win tomorrow.
What? Hey, I want my 25, bro.
25 on the line, sucker.
25, man.
Hey, Cash App. You want to know what my Cash App is, boy?
Man, we about to get in, y'all.
How can we gamble on games now? Is the gamble official now? Because I'm ready to.
In certain states.
I mean, we can't gamble.
All I know is
Michigan. My homeboy
bro.
been going to the joint in Michigan.
I want my money Tuesday morning.
What you talking?
You got to Cash App me first
morning.
thing as soon as the game is over. I don't want mine Tuesday morning. I want mine that night.
I'm ready.
Dale, you talking about sports book?
Yeah, I want a
W's.
sports book. I want to gamble on some games. Shit.
Oh yeah,
Barkley
man.
about to
You
about
can
to run
download
crazy.
the sportsbook app, right,
Oh,
Jay?
word?
Fools,
Jay,
can I?
All right, Sam.
Huh?
Jay.
How can I gamble on some games?